So we are, yay, technology is friendly to us today. So last time, the beautiful Wyevetra and I were supposed to be on, Zoom had its full-on outage, right, V?
Yes. We were trying to figure out like what was happening. Like I was like, I can't get on. And you were like, hey, I think I need an update. And it was the whole system was down.
Right, right. We broke Zoom, Wyevetra.
And we
Like
totally broke Zoom.
they knew it was going to be so good today. So I'm excited. We got to do over. So here we are. And I am excited to welcome you to the quintessence of leadership, Wyevetra, and those of you joining us. This is leadership done different. You know, we all have the stories around leadership in organizations and showing up in this capacity or that capacity in organization. But the quintessence of leadership is really about you as a leader, you as the leader, your own stories unfiltered, your own experiences, your own challenges, and how you navigated some of that. Because what I find, there is a richness and a depth in the truth of our life experiences that don't always happen within the four walls, right? They happen beyond the boardroom many times, and they inform what happens within the boardroom. So, with that, I have with me today the amazing Wyevetra Jordan, who is on the East Coast. She is in Maryland, right? Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, I'm in
Okay.
Maryland. Yep, I'm in Maryland. Yes.
And she owns and operates a thriving, and when I say thriving, because I want you to hear me, even in these times, right, of uncertainty, of volatility, of a lot of things changing day to day, she navigates, runs, operates, owns, manages all the things, a thriving brokerage. And so she is in the realm of real estate. And so some of us are like, what is happening in real estate, you know, what's happening here, there. And so I am so excited to have you with us today, Wyevetra. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me on your platform. Like, I love, love, love being in your presence. So,
Mm,
even if it's virtual, it's
mm,
always amazing.
mm.
So, I am happy to join you today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yay. So we're going to have a great conversation, people. We're only going to be on. I know many of us are busy, right? Or what I like to say, opportunity rich, right?
Mhm. Opportunity rich. I love that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So we are going to just honor your time, and we are only going to really be on for no more than 30 minutes, and we're going to get this party started. So with that, um, Wyevetra, may I ask you a question, my dear friend?
Absolutely. Can I qualify something real quick? Y'all, I have a little bit of thing going on with my throat, so I may have to take a couple sips of water every now and then. But y'all gotta stay hydrated anyway.
Yes, yes.
Stay
So
hydrated.
you are being a
And this is
demonstration.
not, yeah, this is not a brand. I am not what's the word I'm looking for?
Endorsing.
I am not endorsing any brand of water, but I kind of like this one. And so if I take a couple sips, y'all know why I've got this little throat thing going on.
I love it. The caveat, the
Yeah,
caveat.
I needed the caveat because listen, at any moment I may have a coughing spell and I need to take a sip. So
Totally good. Just you just mute yourself, you good, right?
yeah.
So I want to ask you, Wyevetra, where you are now is not where you saw yourself being. So I know that is a very loaded question. So I'm thinking about how to frame this a little bit as we help our audience understand that they may be in a place of challenge. They may be in a place of shift or in transition right now. And so can you tell us where you were? So let's just give it like a 3 minute thing. Where you were, and a little bit of the yummy right there in the middle, and then where you are now.
Okay. All right. It's so interesting that I am here with you to have this conversation because um, I didn't always want to have this conversation, right? And so prior to me opening my own real estate brokerage and becoming, this real estate mogul, I will consider myself that. I was in the government for over 27 years. and with an amazing career. I thought I was at the penultimate of my career in government, and they discarded me like trash. I had to fight for 3 years in a space where people they just didn't need you anymore, and they created lots of lies around that to push you out, right? And so I had to fight that. I had to fight Big Brother for 3 years. I fought Big Brother. But in that space of time, I didn't just, even though it was painful, it pushed me into um something that I wanted to do my entire career, like I mean my entire life, like since I was 7 years old. But it had to somebody had to remind me of that. Like, what is it that you wanted to do? Why you're in this space? What is it? Is something that you wanted to do? And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do real estate. And so while I was in this space of major life shift, a very painful life shift where I didn't know what the end was going to look like. I know what I desired it to look like, but at the end of the day, I got that in a different way, right? And so, um, and a lot of people are going through that right now. Like you're being discarded like trash, and that is not okay, and it feels horrible. But I feel like my story now, my voice coming forward around this, allows people to see what's possible. And the possibilities are truly endless. So I decided to go ahead and take a real estate exam, got my real estate license, started my real estate business, and it was going really well. The government agency that I was working for, I'll just say the Department of Injustice, pulled me back, and I was called back to work, but I was just thrown into the middle of a space that with like literally like nothing to do as a senior executive. And so I just took that time, to not say, well, they're not using me to my full capacity. Like I could have done all those things. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be paid the same thing. What am I gonna do with myself? In case this doesn't end up the way I want it to. And so passed the real estate exam, started my real estate business in 2017. And I it went well, like extremely well. And my background is budget and finance, but the real estate space, what I always know is that wherever you go, there you are. And I know how to grow people. I know how to market myself. And so I use that, and I know how to help people through process. And because I did it my entire career. And so I walk people through process. I gave them love. I gave them compassion when you're walking through a real estate career, it's one of those things where when you're walking people through a real estate transaction, like it's emotional for them, man or woman, it does not matter. Their emotions are all wrapped into it. And it's one of the biggest things that they're going to assets that they're going to purchase. Probably most people only do it once or twice in their life. And so I did that. I had really massive success early on. I started a team. And then 3 years in, I was like, I'm going to get my broker's license. I think I want to have my own company. And I started thinking about buying a franchise, and that didn't work out. And Alicia, like you were there at the time, right? You were like, why don't you do this by yourself? You said, why do you need a franchise? It
Yes.
made me sit back and think about like, why do I need a franchise? Like,
Mhm.
what is it that you don't want to do? And I said to you at that time, I know my strengths. My strengths are growing people. So I just want to go in, plug and play, and just do it, right? And
Right.
you're like, okay. So what would you need to make that happen? Like, what if there are other people that you maybe haven't met yet that can help you
I
do that?
remember.
You
Oh my
remember
gosh,
that?
I remember.
We were in the Grand Cayman Islands when I first met you, and I'm
Mm,
sitting there, and I was still like, yeah, these ladies don't know me. Like, I don't think that is for me. I don't know. I just want to
oh,
plug and play and go. I
mm,
didn't want to do the business stuff. And I said to you, I've been pushing boulders up the hill my entire career.
mm,
I don't want to do that. I just want to
mhm.
go in where somebody else has done it. Well, that didn't work out. God had another plan.
Yes.
Here I am. and you connected me to people who your circle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is big on up leveling your circle. So you,
Mm.
we got to talk about like what that circle looks like, right? People that can support you in spaces. And then you connected me to someone who, Sanaya, who
Mm-hmm.
actually set up my systems. Like she didn't, I mean, it was like we built this thing from the ground up. And it was an investment. I did it. And I eight people that said yes to me. And now we're over 56 agents in this company in like 3.5 years. And so
Ah,
really excited for what we're doing. And then once I opened up three other companies. We bought a business park in Fort Washington,
right.
have my real estate brokerage. We have a property management company. We have a title company. My husband runs our nonprofit.
Mm.
We're just loving on the community and
Mm.
they're loving us back.
Yes.
And it feels so good to be able to help other people walk through their careers in real estate as well. So again, wherever you go, there you are. I am helping agents over and over again to duplicate that success.
Yes.
Now, a caveat here. So in the middle of me, like grabbing that real estate business by the horns and it taking off. Guess what happened? The government came back to me and was like, "Hey, we would love for you to come back as a contractor and come back as a government contractor doing HR policy." The one thing that they actually tried to fire me on, which was
Right.
the HR,
Right.
right? And that wasn't even my background.
Right.
So let me to do HR policy. And I was like, and they were like, and you can make whatever you want to make.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And I thought about it for 2 days.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can do that job in my sleep and I can still do real estate. And then I was like, so I asked the question, do I have to come in the office? Because by this time, like I was running a nice team and all of that.
Absolutely.
And they were like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to come in 90 days. It was like 90 days. And I looked at it and I really had to ask myself, do you really want to get back that into the frying pan there? Because you
Mm-hmm.
don't oh, the pressure cooker, you don't realize how much pressure you're under in those jobs until you're out of it.
Yeah.
And now watching what happened, I know why God had a plan for me to come out
Yes.
the way it did and why it had to happen the way it did and why
Yes.
it had to be so painful. So I
Yes.
never wanted to look back.
Yes. My
So
God.
that is the story. That's where I am.
Woo!
I love what we do here in Maryland. We're licensed in DC, Maryland, Virginia.
And what is the name of your beautiful organization?
The Home Team Realty Group, and our
Yes.
business park is the Fort Washington Business Complex.
Yes. And so, I mean, that story, friends, right? Very multi-layered. Like you see, we could be here literally for 3 hours, just having
Yeah.
a fireside chat and just pulling so many nuggets from Wyevetra. But we're not going to do that today. But I want to highlight a couple of things that Wyevetra said. She had to be very intentional, first off, with what it was that she wanted. When that offer came for her to come back making whatever she wanted, some of us would have been tempted to jump back into the pressure cooker because it's the pain we already know. She had to think about it for 2 days. So give yourself grace, my friends. If there's something that you know you want to move from, but it's very sweet. I had golden handcuffs in my organization, so I understand that sometimes we have to be intentional with the choice or the choice is made for us. So that's number one. Number two, you heard her say she came back, they threw her just back into the middle of the office and she could have complained, she could have whined, rightfully so. But she said, what am I going to do with this time? What am I going to do to grow me? How am I going to make the most of this? So there was a level of leadership within her, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, where she took the reins and she created her story. And then last thing I want to highlight is how she said she knew the skills that were within her. She knew how to grow people. She knew what she wanted to do with people. She knew how to love people. She knew her community was very important to her and giving back. Hence, nonprofit, which is extremely successful, all the community work they do, all of the community partnerships they have with big names, my friends. One of the names being like Home Depot, like big names like that, like big names. So Wyevetra is a demonstration that when you are intentional and when you make choices that serve you, when you put you on the calendar, when you put you at the forefront of what is possible, of what is possible. So I want you to know that. So Wyevetra, as you are in this next phase, I will say, or this next season in your life, as you are moving, as you have grown now, you said to 56, 57,
56 agents,
50,
57. I just interviewed an agent today and
wonderful.
joined our company. So yeah.
Yeah. What is it that you see for yourself? Because I want to remind you all right here that this is a very real conversation. This is very real life. Like we are talking raw and real as she shared with you. What do you see for yourself next, Wyevetra?
Wow. So I asked God that question. So what do I see for myself next? I asked him for the strategy on like what's next for the business. So I see myself continuing to grow this real estate empire,
Mm-hmm.
continuing to build up the business park that we have here. But I also plan to go to law school so that I can
Oh my
actually,
gosh!
well, let me go back. I never had law school on my plan at all. Like never had any desire to go to law school. But when I asked the question, about 2 weeks later, I had this amazing dream that I had passed the bar. But it
Mm.
wasn't just me that was there. Like I mean, it was very detailed. It was very detailed. My son was there. He had passed too. I ain't told him this yet, y'all. So
Oh,
can't handle it yet. Sometimes, Joseph, you can't people can't
yes,
handle the dream.
yes,
So I
yes.
haven't told him that yet. But yeah, so I was like, okay. And I didn't know anything about like how to even get into law school. I've been out of college for a long time. Like, what
Wow,
does that even look like? And
wow,
then I've been connected to people who have done it, um,
wow.
non-traditional. Like after the dream,
That.
after like I don't even know what happened. People like it just started coming, like so many things. So what do I see for myself next is that I am going to get a law degree,
Yes.
um, hang my own shield because I am
Yes.
about hanging on somebody else's dream, but hanging my own shield and supporting my businesses in that way.
I love this for you.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to
I
hear this.
hadn't said that to you out loud. I hadn't said that to too many people out
You
loud.
see, I'm like I'm loving that for you. And Wyevetra. So first, congratulations. I'm so excited for you and that next season. And I want you to hear how she is continuing to grow herself, to be intentional, to be clear, not doing it for anyone else, not doing it because someone said so. It's because she knows how God is guiding her and what her life looks like. So I want to make sure, sometimes we do things because someone else is doing it or someone else says to do it. You have to ensure that that is the path for your life, that that is how you are called. Whatever anyone says, whether they agree with it or don't agree with it, that's not your business. Your business is standing on the business that you're called to do in this lifetime. So,
Absolutely.
Wyevetra, so with that, that's going to cause you. So I'm just thinking here. Yes, I know. Go ahead and cough, get you some
It's
water.
okay. I'm good.
I'm just thinking here, so now my leadership brain is like, so, ma'am, we're going to have to be doing some studying and stepping away. So, how are we setting up the organization right now? This is real leadership right here. Come through now. Talk to us.
So, what's interesting is that I never wanted to be a single point of failure in my business ever.
Yes.
So when I set this business up, even though I had to learn all the things myself first, I quickly decided, as a matter of fact, again, you are catalyst.
Mm,
I got a personal assistant.
yes.
And I didn't think anybody would want that job. Like I was like, Alicia, nobody's gonna want that job. And you were like, you would be surprised. People have
Yes.
skills. Like this is what they want.
Yes.
60 people applied.
6-0. Y'all hear that? 6-0.
People applied. And then you helped me with the whole like how to do it and the structure and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And told me the biggest thing that I learned from that process is you told me to stay out of it.
Yes.
You said get people who really know you, have them do the interviews, have them go through those things, and then you are the last interview
Yes.
because you will hire people, someone just like you, Wyevetra, and you don't need that. You don't need
No,
another you. You
no.
need somebody who can. I have the most phenomenal
Mm,
PA. I
mm,
really do. And so I did that.
yeah.
I have people who do payroll. I've taught several people who I trust how to do
Yes.
payroll. I have a compliance team. I have people who do compliance work for the,
Yes.
because if something were to happen to me, even if I'm just incapacitated for a week, the business of real estate can't stop.
Right.
So I had to really set up some layers, not just one person, but two people, other people that have access
Right.
that can, get things done, that know
Right.
what things are,
Right.
which means the back end of my business can't be janky.
Come on now. Speak that
The
truth.
back end of my business has to be a real business functioning, flowing. And that doesn't mean
Yes.
there are pieces that don't need to be course
That's
corrected.
right.
It just means that it has to be right. And
Mm,
so I can step away, I can
mm,
go away and have people. I have grown people into associate brokers. They have their broker's license.
there you
And
go.
so they can handle like the things that a broker needs to handle in my absence.
Mm,
But yeah, so I'm actually studying. I'm in a study group now. And I plan on sitting for the LSAT in the fall.
oh my gosh, this is so good.
After we come back from Curacao.
Yes, yes, because we are going to Curacao for my women's leadership
Yay.
retreat.
I'm
So
so
excited.
excited about it.
Me too.
And so that's
Ah,
the plan.
I love
And
it.
um and then and then I believe that God will lead me to the right school because I can't be
Absolutely.
full time in nobody's school.
No, no,
So
ma'am.
it has to be something that's hybrid,
Absolutely.
where I can do and get what I need to get
Yeah.
and be able to do that. I haven't been in school in a long time. I
I
mean,
feel
aside from real estate school and all the things I have to do for that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in like
A little
real.
different.
Yeah, and I hear law school is so different where you aren't graded on yourself. It's like a conglomerate. So it's like you get graded, the class gets graded, not
Oh,
just you. And so yeah.
all those team projects that sometimes can be our
Well, no, but it's that
nemesis.
way all the time. Like you're not graded on your individual stuff
Ooh,
ever.
this is interesting.
So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, very different for me. Uh,
Ah,
but I'm looking forward to it. I mean,
yes.
here's what I know. When I ask God for something earnestly, and he gives this to me so detailed and then lines up everything that I need. Like I didn't even know how to start the process. Like what does that look like? People were sending me to these groups that I didn't even know existed, like all the things. Somebody referred a agent to me who is an attorney, did it non-traditional. She works in my company. She's an attorney. She's out of Atlanta. Like when I tell you that it just all I was like, "Oh, and she really helped me." And then
Mm,
Rosaline.
yes. Our Rosaline. Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh. I
And
have
so,
to go ahead. Keep going.
no, I was just saying that. So that's what I know. I know that, like, when that happens. So when the next phase comes, I don't
Yes.
really have any worries.
Yes.
I'm like, what's the strategy?
That's it.
Because God knows what I have on my plate,
Yes.
and He knows what I'll need to balance it all.
That's
And so
it.
I just really, really trust in that. And
That's
and
it.
sometimes people are like, oh, that sounds so woo-woo. It might, but it's my life. And
It's
this
your
is
life.
how I operate my business from a kingdom perspective.
That's right. This is what faith looks like, walking in
What
faith,
faith looks like.
standing
Yeah,
in
this
faith.
is a 100% faith walk. This is
Mm,
faith manifested.
mm,
Because I never saw this. Like, if
mm,
you would have asked me
mm.
5 years ago, 10 years ago, whether I was gonna have own a business park
Right. Right.
and have 60 agents
Right.
and then mostly women,
Yeah. Wow. You'd be
no,
like, no, especially not all those women.
right. No, and but here we are. And
Ah,
and it's amazing. And I love every single day of what I do.
mm.
It gets crazy,
Yeah, of course.
but I love every single thing that I do.
Yes. and I want to talk about, y'all hear what she said, that she has it's a plan, right? Like you hear there's a plan. You hear she duplicated herself. She duplicated herself and the processes, the compliance department, the payroll department, accounting, all of these components that are required to have a thriving business. And this is sometimes what we miss when we are starting businesses. You cannot be the bottleneck. You cannot be the stopgap. You have got to duplicate what needs to be done in the organization and where it's not all you. And you really do want to work yourself out of a job because you didn't start a business to go into another job. Now it starts like that, of course, at first, right, B? Like, because there are things that need to be done that you do have to be a part of. But as you start getting processes, SOPs, P&Ps, the right people in place, right? Not hiring people like you, hiring the right people for the role. I think we've all had to learn that. Then the organization really has the space to grow and you can scale. And then you can step away and do things like go on retreats to refuel yourself, do what you're called to do, speak in other arenas, speak on stages, help others grow their businesses, be that mentor, be that business advisor, be that leader, right? Work in the nonprofit, because there are many facets to us. There are many sides to us. We're not only called to do one thing, but we do have to put the components in place so that we can do those things. So,
Yes.
Wyevetra, as I know we have about 5 more minutes left. Um, what does, so I know one of your core values is just really operating from a space of freedom, right? Like having a level of freedom. What does that freedom look like for you today in this arena as you have your children in your company, as you are experiencing things? I'm going to let it come from your mouth. What does that look like for you?
Freedom really looks like buying my time back. And
Mm,
it looks like being able to be there for my grandchildren. Like I literally watched my granddaughter for a year and a half before she
mm,
went to daycare.
mm.
I changed my schedule. I didn't have to ask permission. I get to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. And I set the atmosphere to be able to handle those things when I'm not here. It
Right.
looks like being able to make opportunities for people and then create opportunities for my family, for
Mm,
other people and their families. When I look at what we've created here and the people that we've helped and their families, and I was just saying this to my husband the other day that the people that we've hired, even my personal assistant,
mhm.
who we hired her after her son passed away
Yeah.
from a brain cancer, right?
Yes.
And but now her family is thriving because
Yes.
she has a job that she loves. She can go out and do the things that she's created her own real estate empire now that she's gotten a taste of it. Like she's
Mhm.
amazing. We've been able to hire. One of my agents was a school teacher, was being harassed at school.
Mm.
Somebody told me that she quit her job. Like she
Mhm.
looks like she's 12, but she's in her
Yeah.
20s. Somebody told me that she quit her job. And she was a real estate agent here. And I was about to hire for title. And I was like, well, let's start from within. Is this something that you want to consider? And I also said, but I don't want it to impact you building your own other
Right.
business. And she was like, no, 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 this would be great. And so she now works in our title company, supporting my daughter who runs a title company.
Right.
And they get along so great. And it's amazing, like watching her be able to thrive in that, still thrive in her real estate business. And I check in often because I'm like, oh, because I never want someone to work my dream and not.
Mm.
And
Woo.
so I asked her, how are you? How are you balancing all of this? And I do a lot of check-ins with the people that are on my team and that I've hired and things like
Yeah.
that. And she said to me, nope, it's fine. It's giving me purpose. And I
Ooh.
was like, oh my gosh, like it's giving me purpose. And that really stuck with me
Yeah.
because that is so important. Like knowing why you're here, you
Yeah.
having a reason to get up.
Yes. Yes. Wyevetra.
Because there's so many reasons for people not to want to get up.
Yeah.
I've
Mm,
been in a space of not wanting to get up when
me
I was in
too.
that space, of what I was going through with the government.
Yeah.
And so being able to just create an atmosphere where people feel like they can thrive, they can really be
Mm,
themselves, they can really be who they want to be. They
yeah.
feel like they have room, places to grow,
Yeah.
like their opportunities are unlimited, and they really
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Um, that is so important to me, and that's what freedom feels like.
Yes.
That's what freedom is for me. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for
yeah,
such a very specific
yeah,
answer, because I think sometimes it can be ethereal, right? I want freedom, but what does that, it like it correlates to your mission, right? I hear it. I hear it even when you share it, your mission, your servitude, because you are a servant leader. And that's what I know is missing today. People don't lead from a space of service. It doesn't mean you allow people to run over you, because baby, let me tell y'all something about Miss CEO Wyevetra over here. She plays no games, okay? And
done.
and she serves
I
at the
do.
highest level. So it is possible. It's not an or game, it's an and. It's not zero sum, it's not one or the other. It is and.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to be business minded. You have to have goals. You have to have mission. You have to have framework. You have to have systems, policies, procedures, all those things that Wyevetra has. And
and and
must.
and you have to have a circle of people that can be your brain trust that you can trust,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the reason that I was in the situation I was in at the government, one, I know God. Now I know God did that for a very specific reason.
Right.
But before, I had a brain trust that had no integrity, and
Mm.
they wanted what I had.
Yes.
And I didn't recognize that. Well, I was blinded by it because
Yeah.
people told me, and I was like, no, no, no. And I ignored the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
I ignored the red flags
Yeah. Yeah. How many
until
of us
I
have done that?
saw,
How many of
yeah,
us
until I
watching have
saw,
done that?
yes. And like it was crazy. So now I don't ignore the red flags. I handle them.
Yes.
And but you're able to you have to live from a place of integrity and
Yes.
authenticity.
Yes. Integrity is my number one core value.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, Wyevetra, let us know how, listen, if we're in the market for home, purchasing property, want to know more about your nonprofit, because I love the community work, and I'm sure a lot of people watching love the community work and may be in your area. Please let us know how we can get in touch with you, and we will also have your information listed. But let us know how we can get in touch with you, as far as what are you, where we can find you playing, what social media platforms, and if we want to donate to your cause.
Yay. So I'll start with the nonprofit. It's
Okay,
Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation. You can find us on all the platforms. I don't think we're on TikTok, but we are on Instagram and Facebook.
great.
Um, Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation. You can find the donation button there. I love what we're doing there. We have so many partnerships,
Mm,
and we're feeding. We fed over 137,000 people last summer, like through our stand up and deliver program in coordination with Prince George's County, Angela Also Brooks.
yeah.
Um, and so that was amazing. So Jacob's Ladder Youth Foundation is our nonprofit. And you can find me at the Home Team Realty Group, the Home Team Lifestyle on Instagram, or the Real Y Consulting on
Mm,
Instagram. And then I'm Wyevetra Jordan everywhere else on Facebook, on and here on LinkedIn as well.
yeah.
So you can find us there. We're in Fort Washington, Maryland. We would love to see you come through the doors and say, "Hey, I saw you on the
Yep.
Quintessence of Leadership," and maybe you'll get a nice little prize walking through the door if you
Hey.
say that. And
Yes.
come out, visit us. Like we're always excited to see new people walk through our doors and see how we can serve people at the highest level. We are a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Like, we do it all.
You
So
do. You do.
I'm really, really excited about you being here and being able to
Yeah.
share on your platform.
Me
And
too.
I think I was saying that your circle needs to be like you have to have people who are going to feed into you, who are going to
Yes.
make sure that they can have tools for you and your leadership group, Alicia,
Mm,
your group is that for me.
Thank
Um,
you.
y'all, I have tagged Alicia as my executive coach. She
Yes.
actually is my executive coach.
Yes.
Love that because like she is thebomb.com. Like when I tell you she plays no games. Like I always say, okay, I gotta grab my inner Alicia right now. I gotta tune into my inner Alicia right
Yeah. Right.
when you're dealing with things. But you are the ultimate connector. You've connected
Thank
me
you.
to so many things to help the things that I'm doing right now.
Mm,
Like it is you've coached you've done some coaching, leadership coaching to my
mhm.
daughter. When
Yeah.
she started a business, I realized I dumped her into a business and she was always an employee and now she owns a business. She had
Right.
no idea what to do. And
Right.
now and you came in and you gave her the skills and the tools because I can teach her all day, but it's like it's mommy,
It's
right?
mommy.
It's
Hmm.
different than when it's
Hmm.
you, right? And she
Yeah.
will share things that she might not share with me. And
Right.
I love that I have somebody I can trust that I can say,
Mm,
hey, my team needs this, right?
yeah.
And you have talked to my team. Like, just have people make sure your circle can feed into you too. Don't be the only one. Don't be the biggest personality or the biggest person or the smartest person in your group because these women are